I had not a situation, but I can't remember what girl I had it with. Not a situation like that, just like a topical situation.
We need the context still, because as soon as you said that, 2 seconds after, I was like,
yeah, no, not like I had a no.
Yeah.
So I was like, raw. How come like if I was to call you the B word, oh you're that B, you wouldn't like it. But if your friends call you that, oh you're that B,
yeah,
that's a plus. So yeah, because it's my girls. It's like amongst them, they can probably call themselves that, and they won't have like the disrespect element. I think that when the guy says it comes from like it sounds like an ownership.
hurtful, yeah.
You get me? Like that's what you call a female dog. And if you have a dog, that's like you own that dog. You get me? But for girls,
I think it's like the
they don't really
reverse
take it
for
like that. More time.
Like, you know, with the N word.
So it's like selective groups can say it.
Yeah, you're not calling the girl the N word. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my nigga, is like you associate it in a way where it's like a manly kind of like reference, where it's like, yeah, that's my dog, that's my G, that's my nigga. So for the girls, it's like I ain't gonna call my man them. Yeah, what's going on, bitch? It's like, no, that's just more like.
Such a good point.
You see me? So it's kind of like there's never that thought track. It's not associated in that masculine way. The masculine way is more like my dog, my G. You know what I'm saying? My brody, my brethren, my nig. The girls just more like it's
my B.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how they've now used that. It's like their kind of own way of
Even when they're
using
gassing
the
themselves up, fam. Yes, B.
Yeah, because I'm like, we can never say those
like,
two words.
bro, if I know for a fact if I said that,
it's
your hand is coming across my cheek.
And you know what's funny? We're also
Instantaneously.
going to look at you like the man them also going to look at you like, I think you deserve that one still.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
you're like,
too much
whoa,
still, bro.
like, whoa.
You get me?
Easy now. But then it's also like, so they can't cross barriers, because like you're not also going to get a girl and say, yeah, what's going on, man? Unless she like leave 504, you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what time it is.
But I think in America, them barriers, them like lines are a bit more blurred.
Way more blurred. For sure.
Like there's way more stuff. Like them man talk about like mollies and perks like it's normal.
Yeah. Them man got Mexicans saying the M word over there, bro. Like,
M word, N word. Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
it's strange, bro. It's
a very, very
strange, bro.
Fairs, obviously black and brown community, I hear that, but it's also like, nah, they
weren't called that. It's documented.
You know what I'm saying?
They weren't called that back in the days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's like we don't share the same struggle, we don't share the same hardship. Like that thing there, you could go ahead and say vato, say all of that, but I'm like, the N word though.
No, be easy, bro.
How you feeling with that one, bro?
Be easy, bro. Like I don't know what, but the Americans, they got some funny shit going on.
They let it slide, bro.
They let it slide.
They do let it slide, because I remember when I was watching a Fat Joe interview on the Breakfast Club.
Joe out here saying N word, you know.
Well,
I've got an ounce of it in there.
But you know what's crazy though? We've been hearing it.
Yeah,
we've been hearing it to the point where it's like, it's only now we got to the point where it's like, wait, hold on, let's just rewind it back. Talking about this Puerto Rican dog with the blue eyes, the one that's out here saying,
bro, I even feel funny when Drake says it.
Yeah, it's a little funny, but he can. But it's a little funny.
I don't think he can.
Wait.
Let's get into that.
No.
Let's get into that.
Let's get into this, man. This is some real shit.
I personally feel like,
why can't he say it?
He ain't full breed.
So what? Half caste can't say the N word.
He's not full breed.
Wait,
First of all, you can't even say that.
Why can't I say that?
You got to say that.
What's his real name?
HC. Aubrey.
No, what do you mean HC? Why can't I say HC? I talk about the pod.
Now, obviously, now with like history and like everyone's now going through. Like,
there's a bit. Yeah. Apparently, I learned from back in the day, like you can't like half caste.
Yeah.
So I can't say mixed race.
You can say mixed race, but you can't say half caste.
Oh, I can't say half caste. What?
You can still say it, but you know.
Sorry, my bad.
No, but that's like.
No, but I didn't know that would offend you, lot, man.
No, of course, but now.
But it's blessed, like it's calm.
There's a community now where it's like that's hence why they even had to change up their whole setup as well.
Yeah, but I'm gonna add to that community. You get me, like you get me. You know what I'm saying? Get me right, bro. I'm with y'all, niggas. Damn.
But listen, bro, I'm about to feed the streets with this stuff, right?
Feed the streets with the new mixtape.
You come across man ignorant right now still.
It's not ignorance, bro.
No, but I'm just saying, like, obviously now in this day and age.
Oh, I hear you, bro.
Yeah, it's just the way how you were saying it. I know it's a joke, but I was like, you can't sound like hood ignorant. You're like, nah, man, I'm gonna feed the streets with y'all, man.
No, but come on, if you know, come on,
that
man,
was a joke.
tighten up.
Of course.
My personal thing, in all, I think we should stop saying that word. Period.
Which one?
Me? The N word. Okay, I think. But back to the topic, Drake. Yeah, I don't even feel comfortable when he says it, because I think like it's you need to be like fully.
I get it.
In it. You can't be with us and then go hang, you get me, with the other side where Do you get like you need to fully
the black experience?
Yeah, you need to fully be in the black experience.
Okay.
From like brother, you still will probably get, and there's cons to it as well. For Drake being who he is, there's cons to it. You get me? Where you might find it difficult to fit in fully in one side or the other, but you will get accepted in certain places that we won't get accepted in. So, i.e., you have a certain advantage, whether it's slight or you get me, significant. You have a advantage over us. Now you can't come and take something that obviously we all know the historical context behind it, and how we use it now to like really, you get me, come out and just feel, oh yeah, fam, I'm money, y'all. But when they're talking checks or something, I'm Jewish.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point. I feel like
so it's not just for every mixed race person. It's more like people in his position.
In terms of the black experience,
every mixed race person,
even if they live the black experience fully.
If they've lived the black experience, then it makes sense. I get it. But if you ain't, you just came out that skin color, but you ain't got the experience.
Because I feel like that's a good point, and I agree with you. I feel like the mixed race community, I can say that, right?
Yeah.
I was just saying that community. This is feels heads. God, I see y'all as black. I'm gonna be 100, innit? I feel like if you got black in you, you're black. Like, because that's how you're treated. Like 100%. Drake can get in certain rooms that like fully black people can't, of course. But at the same time, everyone sees him as a black person. Do you get me? Like at the end of the day, once you got that pigmentation, once you got that color on your skin, whether it's a tint, whether it's the darkest shade, whether it's that you're that. Do you get me? I feel like black people have that acceptance as well. Like if a mixed race person was coming to the room, naturally black people would be like, oh yeah, that's a black person.
In recent times, I would say until recent times, mixed race people weren't fully accepted by black people. Generally speaking.
What now?
Obviously. I'm saying it's more like in today's times, it's like more accepted
than back then.
Yeah, back then it was way more separated.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, cool. But if we're separated, you might still let it slide when they're saying those words. And then you started to like accept certain people saying it if they have a certain level of clout amongst them. Do you get it? So even then that starts leading to like the Fat Joes and all them, man. They had a certain level or have a certain level of clout. So they might let it slide. Yeah, all right, cool. You Fat Joe, you could say it.
No, 100.
But then he's with his peoples and he's saying amongst them and they're thinking, wait, he's saying it. I'm just like you.
Yeah, I'm saying it.
I'm going to say it as well.
Then it just passes down. Because obviously that community of that Dominican community in New York, of course, with that Fat Joe influence, of course they're going to say the N-word. Fat Joe's saying it on TV. Like, why can't I say it? You get me? And
it's
then
like, you know, the homies even more crazy. Yeah? Even giving context to that Breakfast Club interview, he said that he grew up, obviously where he grew up, obviously the Bronx, blacks, and obviously like it was just a whole melting pot of culture in it, blacks, Dominican,
black
Puerto
experience,
Rican, all of
basically.
that.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, from the first day, they was like, yo, they was calling him they was calling him the N-word, didn't it? They was calling him. It was like, yo, get this fat. It's like that, bro. That's all I've known. I'm being called it before I even knew what it was. So they was
perfect.
You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he got called it regardless.
That's
like, he's been around.
That's like the whole analogy of the monkeys in the room with the banana in the middle. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, remind me though, because I heard it in a minute.
There was not a social, but there was an experiment where to basically see how people or things will accept a social norm without questioning it. So, for example, there was a room like this. There's a ladder in the middle with bananas at the top, and there's a bunch of monkeys in the room. So obviously, stereotype monkeys like bananas, isn't it? And that's not really a stereotype. They like any fruit. Just putting it out there. But obviously, you know why. Yeah, anytime a monkey goes to get try to get us a banana top of the ladder, there's sprinklers in the room. The sprinklers come on and wet all the monkeys, and it kept happening until it got to a point where every time one monkey tries to climb up the ladder, the rest of the monkeys will start beating up that monkey. It's like, bruv, we're not trying to get wet, fam. You get me? So he kept doing that. So now no one's trying to climb the ladder. No monkey's trying to climb the ladder. So it reached that point, and then now they started to swap out certain monkeys and bring in a new monkey that doesn't know what's going on. A new monkey comes in and sees this banana on the ladder, climbs up, starts getting flogged by the other monkeys. Doesn't know why. Just start getting, like, they didn't get wet. They're just doing that to avoid getting wet. Starts getting flogged. So they kept swapping in monkeys until there was no original monkeys left. Now all of those monkeys of being accustomed to a social norm, which is you climb out that ladder, you're gonna get flogged. But they actually don't know the reason why they get flogged because they weren't there when the original cause was happening. So I think that's similar to what he's saying. Like he just grew up knowing. He probably up until a certain stage, didn't even know the context or the history behind that word. He just think, oh yeah, this is it. This is
what
it.
you call your friend.
Yeah,
or
which
whatever.
is it's forgivable up until the point where you know. You get me? Because now you know. I think individually, you've now got a social responsibility to say, you know what, from where the word stems from, it's a bit disrespectful. You get me? I can't. Let me make that individual decision to not use that word. Is that, for example, the C word, where certain people start calling white people the C word?
Yeah.
That's just pure out of you calling us the N word, so we're gonna call you the C word. It's not like no historical context of or it comes from a, you get me, like a mad thing. It's just like a reaction. You get me? We don't really even use that.
No.
Because it's like it stems from pure disrespect.
Yeah.
And you don't really feel comfortable using that.
Honestly,
and they don't use it to
I don't even feel
themselves.
comfortable when I hear somebody use it. I'm like, oh shit, nigga.
Do you get me? And
I heard they got it from see, I don't even want to use the word, but I heard they got it from an action that they would do to our backs.
crack the whip.
Yeah.
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 But it's like it's still a disrespect. Even to them, it's
100%.
like, bro, how dare you call
Yeah,
me
exactly.
that? But because I think we don't have that reaction enough. Sometimes it's like advertised and it's supported, or it's not supported, but it's blindly supported. Let's say that it's become the social norm, and then now it's like, as long as you're part of a certain society, it's normal for you to use that word.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So I think from like the Fat Joe thing is like, bro, he doesn't know the context of
Where you get to that certain age.
But you do know.
But then, alright, so I want to get onto the whole Drake thing now, yeah, where you feel like if he hasn't kind of been around that kind of diaspora long enough for him to then, for us to feel like as if this is cool for someone like you to start saying it. I was having this conversation like earlier this week, and it was like, when it comes to especially like mixed race children, you always have the two sides of the coin. You have the one where it's like both parents are in the picture. Obviously, maybe dad's black, mum's white, or maybe mum's black, dad's white, and it's like, alright, cool. They've got a fair share of knowledge from both sides of the family. But then in today's day and age, sometimes you also get the single mum. Single mum might be white, or you might just get the stay-at-home dad. He's white as well, and most children who's mixed race grow up more on the white side of the family, not knowing really the history. So there's always two sides of the coin. Come like, not every mixed race person's story is always going to be the same. Most people don't get the whole both parents in the picture regardless.
Yeah.
And
One
most
could be
people,
dominant.
and most people just grow up again. If you're mixed race, probably just being raised by that one side of the family. It's only then, maybe if they're old enough to get to a point where it's like, no, I want to make the conscious decision to say, I want to do my history and I want to know about my roots. I want to know about my family, like, or my dad's side of the family. I don't know he was in the picture, but I want to do my part to know my granddad, know where I'm from, go back home, so and so. So it's touchy sometimes because I understand it when it's like, maybe it's just someone who's mixed race who's just growing up on one side of the family. To an extent where maybe they can't control, or maybe they are old enough to now do something about it, but they choose still not to. So I get that point on the whole Drake thing where it's like, I'm not really comfortable with someone
and to
like
add
you
to the
saying
Drake
it.
thing is like, not sure if you know how he grew up. But he grew up
Yeah, he
very
grew up
early
on the-
days.
yeah.
Different crowd of people.
Different, bro. 100.
It's when
I
he
saw a
started-
video. I think I saw a video today. He was at a
In
dinner.
or something like that.
You see the video? He was
I
in
saw it
dinner.
like a couple months ago. But
yeah. He was eating dinner and that, and it's like, brother, this
What,
guy,
today's day and age, or
This
like,
guy.
this guy, you get me?
he's out here saying what he's saying.
Yeah, but on top of, he's like the top of the world of this music
Yeah.
thing, but hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have just done jazz and we could have accepted that. Like,
But and if he wasn't as big, for example, if he wasn't as big as an artist as he is and not got the accolades that he's got, would some of the thing like this, like, you know where like, yeah, it's like, bro, man's the guy, fam. I'm the boy. I can do whatever I want, bro. You get me? And it's like, until you're not the boy, no one can chat to you. Do you get me? So it's like, you can't judge it or you can't expect change to happen on a society level. It's more on an individual basis. Like me personally, I try not to say that word. You get me? Sometimes in certain songs, when I'm singing along, I try. When that word comes up, I say, I don't even say the full word. I say, you get me, man. You get me? I try, and I just try to add it, and I'll try to add it to like just like the rest of like the swear words that come up. That's just me personally. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to get too Because at the end of the day, I'm more thinking like, raw. I grew up in a home where my mom and my parents weren't saying certain words, right?
Yeah, swearing wasn't.
Yeah, swearing
I never heard swear word in my house.
I never heard. In my whole life, I probably heard my mum swear 5 times.
Yeah.
Ever in my
I
whole
probably
life.
can count how many.
Yeah, I'll
times
probably
my
say
mum-
the same.
And
so.
about 4 of them or 3 of them is the S word. And she said, I'm going to go S. And even when she said that, I'm like, rotted.
Yeah, it's a bit mad.
Yeah, the times I heard my mum swear was when she was like absolutely livid, like to the point with no control. Like she can't control her mouth at that point, which is mad. Yeah.
So you know it's not a normal way to speak, essentially.
No.
But obviously, the things that's around us is like made it normal. You know, I'm doing it more for like, right, I want to get out the mindset of easily saying stuff like that, especially when, like say I have my own kids, certain song comes up, I'm just going to be rapping, saying, and some parents, they don't really care, like, they don't mind their kids swearing. That's them, that's fair on them. But it's about, that's why I say you have to make an individual decision. Do you get me?
Yeah.
I was going to say something else, but I forgot.
Man.
I had a sick
It
one.
may sound hypocritical of me, yeah, but I'm not saying that I'm bashing anybody for using it, but in the setting that I was in, I had to tell homeboy, be easy with how you're using it. And this is the only time, because where I was, obviously he's mixed race and whatnot, but a lot of people who was around, especially his friends, they know him more than they know me. And his friends are like very, let's just say, there's a word that I'm trying to find where someone who's easily able to, they're attracted to new things, or like a new kind of like
Impressionable.
Very impressionable, and they're at a stage where it's like anything that they still see as cool, or anything they still think like that is like their kind of steez where they like it looks enticing or like capturing or like it's new, it's different. Yeah,
To a certain extent.
to a certain extent, without really knowing, they're just more like, oh, I just like the culture and that.
Yeah.
And he would swear, like he used the N word a lot. I'm there, don't get me wrong, I'm there, and he's saying it, but he's saying the N word a lot around them, and I'm like, I'm being.
Like he's calling them.
No, he's not calling them that, but he's saying it around me and like a couple other friends who are obviously of same diaspora, but like they're still there, and I'm like, bro, I hear you, but I pulled him to the side, I was like, listen, bro, I hear you. Now I'm not really gonna tell you not to say that word at all, because that's hypocritical of me, because I kind of still say it. But what I am gonna say is be mindful when you're saying it around them, man, because that shit can easily rub off, my bro. And I can't lie to you, those guys there, they're mad. Like they literally live off what you do, like your style, the way how you walk, like they live off of it. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying they probably are going to do it, but I'm saying be very wary, because it can be very, very, it can rub off like that. Like I said, but all 3 of us in the room, all 3 of us are probably taking something from each other without knowing about it. And then when we go about day-to-day interactions, I might say something the way Nick says it, or you might say something the way, like I'm saying words like steez and dark and shit. I didn't see none of that before I met Nick. That's in my vocabulary now, innit? So it's just like, I was letting them know, bro, be easy with how you're saying it, especially around them. Because he wasn't seen like that. And I was like, every time he said it, it was like a sharp pain in my back, like, And I'm like,
doesn't feel like,
because it just felt like, bro, it did feel like that. Is that the feeling when everybody's listening to a certain song, yeah? Like, say if Kanye West Gold Digger comes up now, and there's a whole leap of a melting pot of culture in here. Got a couple whites, couple blacks, couple brown, all of that. But everybody's saying Gold Digger, and she ain't missing with no. You know that word is gonna be like, she ain't missing with no.
no what?
She ain't missing with no broke. You saying radio, but it's gonna be on your mind. So that's that same thing that I felt when he was saying it around them. I'm like, you gotta be easy, my bro.
But one thing you can't convince me is like, yes, I won't say every single person, because I know that's wrong for a fact. But there are a lot of white people who will say it behind closed doors.
Oh,
on the low.
Yeah,
On
on the low.
But I've accepted. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's
with
one of them ones I've accepted it. But it's gonna reach a certain stage. They're gonna start getting a bit more brave with it. You get me? Like these Puerto Ricans over there. You get me? They're gonna come out.
the next 30 years, yeah. Listen, they're gonna start singing in cash and be like,
Fam,
nah, we're loud, man.
they're gonna come out like one day we're gonna wake up. One guy from the future's gonna come back in time. He's Puerto Rican. He's like, yo, man, nigga. Like, huh? What? That's how we get down. Bro, you get the ass whipping of a lifetime. Bro. But it's like one of them ones that's like, I think the way it's going, eventually someone's gonna slip out and say it. And someone's like, you know what? So what if they say it? They'll try and make it like accepted. So what if they say it?
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the barriers are gonna be so low to the point.
And it's one of them ones where the way I look at it, yeah, it's like, okay, cool. we have a decision to make as black people. We either allow everyone to say this word, or we stop saying this word.
Or some Dr. Umar thing.
Yeah, because for me, the way I see it is, alright, cool. We all know what this word, the history of this word.
100.
We know it.
100.
But in the sense of how we use it in today, we want to say we use it from a positive, like, you my brother.
Yeah, trust me.
My nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to say. You're my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm calling you. You get me? Avatar thing. I see. You get me? I see you. Don't worry, I'm not spoiling it, fam.
No, 100, no, because they used that in the first movie. Wait, you. People are saying you.
It's called it.
Wait, hold on, Mr. I don't really bang cinema. 3 hours.
Oh, no,
I was about to say, I was like, yeah, because look
Hey,
at
don't look at me like that.
No, no,
I know I'm looking at every man. Fuck this nigga.
I know why I'm looking at you like that.
Sorry.
But I said, fuck this mother.
Hey, I'm working on it.
Black
I'm
man.
perfect. You get me?
No, listen this now, yeah.
Listen, you. The disgust in his face.
Yeah, because I was like, no.
That's you. For me.
I say, no way. Because I know why I'm saying that.
Man, so when it comes to films, you're beneath me.
Bro, 3 hours cinema, myth. So when he said, oh, you ain't seen that, I said, wait, you,
I'm got it mixed up with
with the first one,
no,
right?
the Aqua people in
Aquaman.
no,
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, no,
Hey, you see why I said him? You see?
I got it mixed up with the Aqua
But have you
people.
seen Avatar, the first one?
Of course, yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay,
Watch-
cool,
watch-
cool.
No, the second one, I'm sliding.
Bro,
No,
3
slide
hours
still.
long. You got
Slide.
patience in you.
No, I'm telling you right now, you haven't noticed 3 hours gone.
Yeah, them movies that are really, really good.
You won't notice it.
Yeah.
It's an experience. I'll just say it like that.
Them ones.
Yeah, you won't notice the time. But anyways, what was that? Yeah.